from the University of North Carolina School of Media and Journalism, covering the full range of Tar Heel athletics. This is Sports Extra.
It's redemption time at Carolina. Good afternoon, I'm Charity Cohen.
And I'm Kirsten Clark. Thanks for joining us. The UNC women's soccer team lost to FSU in the NCAA championship game in heartbreaking fashion last December. The NCAA championship game was an even matchup with both teams getting 8 shots on goal. UNC's keeper Samantha Lashank played a pivotal role in keeping the Seminole shots out of the net. But FSU scored in the second half when FSU forward Dallas Dorsey raced UNC defender Lotta Wubben-Moy to the goal. Lashank anticipated the goal to the left, but the ball bounced off of Wubben-Moy, redirecting the ball away from Lashank. UNC had a last-minute chance to score off of a corner, but Lashank was tripped, giving the Seminoles the 2018 NCAA championship title with a 1-0 win. After that heartbreaking loss, the Heels came into last night looking for redemption. Facing off against the number 5 ranked Seminoles, the Heels looked to take command of the ACC regular season race. In the first half, the Heels started off strong with a close shot from Brianna Pinto hitting the crossbar. Macy Bell's header later on hit the post as the teams go into the half 0-0. Late into the second half, Ru Mucharera picked up the through ball from Lotta Wubben-Moy and sped past the defenders and slotted the shot into the bottom corner. Pinto later added another goal after picking the defender's pocket in midfield and ran through to slot it into the same corner to make it 2-0. Let's hear from the 2 goal scorers.
We just lose to them in the national championship. We also lost to them in the ACC in the championship as well. So it was like a really big deal to us.
It hurt last year to lose to them twice, even after we beat them in regular season. And in the grand scheme of things, this doesn't mean anything. We have to continue winning.
The Tar Heels will look to keep their momentum rolling when they take on the Virginia Tech Hokies Sunday at Anson Dorrance Field at 3 p.m.
After a soul-crushing loss to Virginia Tech last week, the UNC football returns to Keenan this weekend with its sights set on arch-rival Duke. The Heels have struggled in their past matchups against the Blue Devils dating back to 2017. However, in the most recent game played at Keenan, Chaz Surratt balled out, playing perhaps his best game at quarterback for the Heels. If he brings the same energy when rushing the quarterback on Saturday, UNC has a chance at ending the 2-game losing streak. Duke had the superior quarterback in Daniel Jones in past years, but look out for freshman QB Sam Howell to make his mark on this rivalry game. Both 2017 and 2018 losses were defined by sloppy play late in the game that negated solid football in the early quarters. Mack Brown's team will need to play a complete 4 quarters in this one to reclaim the victory bell. Looking to Saturday, Mack knows that both teams are seeking redemption after disappointing losses this weekend.
And my experience is that we're going to have to pick it up because we're disappointed with a tough loss. They're going to pick it up because they're disappointed in their performance on Saturday at Virginia.
Carolina is currently hanging around the middle of the pack in the Coastal Division of the ACC and must win all of its upcoming conference games to be in the running for the title. Virginia currently leads the division with a 3-1 conference record, followed by Pitt at 2-1. Virginia Tech and Duke and UNC all at 2-2. Miami and Georgia Tech trail UNC both with 1-3 records. The Heels will face 3 of these opponents in the Coastal Division within the next few weeks. Clemson has locked down the Atlantic Division, and Carolina will need to win these upcoming conference games for a chance at the conference championship game.
So, Charity, it's homecoming weekend for the Heels. They play Duke. What do you think the outcome's going to look like?
I'm hoping for a victory. I'm always rooting for the Heels.
Oh, yeah.
But why don't we talk to Caroline Boyer, our football analyst, who is live in the studio. Caroline, UNC's bowl hopes could very well ride on the outcome of this game.
If Carolina wants to get a huge statement win against the Duke Blue Devils, the Heels must find a way to slow down Duke quarterback Quentin Harris. Harris has been critical to this Duke offense this season. Harris has 17 touchdowns and more than 1,200 passing yards already. A dual-threat quarterback, Harris not only leads the team in passing, but rushing as well. In Duke's win against Virginia Tech, Harris racked up 100 yards rushing. Yardage aside, the biggest advantage Harris has over Sam Howell is experience. The redshirt senior has seen game action since his debut in 2016 and has played more than 300 career snaps. If Saturday turns into a nail-biter, expect him to be cool under pressure. Forget about being one of the best freshmen in the ACC. UNC quarterback Sam Howell has already established himself as one of the best quarterbacks in the conference. Howell has been electric in his rookie season, with the freshman racking up 1,892 passing yards and only 3 interceptions. Howell has played in only 7 collegiate games and already owns the UNC freshman quarterback record with 20 passing touchdowns. At this rate, don't be surprised to see Howell surpass Mitch Trubisky's program record of 30 touchdowns. Howell currently leads the ACC in passing yards and touchdowns, although his 244 passing attempts rank second most in the conference. The only saving grace from that heartbreaking loss to Virginia Tech last week was that Duke got decimated by the Virginia Cavaliers. The Blue Devils were 2-1 in the ACC and tied with UVA and UNC for the Coastal Division lead. So it was an important game for the division. It was clear that UVA entered the game ready to rush. As soon as Duke put points on the board in the third quarter, Joe Reed responded with a 95-yard touchdown. All of the Wahoos' 5 touchdowns were on the ground, their most rushing touchdowns in a single game since 2013. It's a huge rivalry, and the loser is going to be in a big hole when it comes to postseason aspirations.
No doubt, Kenan Stadium will be rocking tomorrow afternoon. Thanks, Caroline. The field hockey team has compiled a perfect season so far, but this afternoon's home matchup against number 7 ranked Boston College could be one of the toughest games this season. The Heels are looking to power through the game with their dominating offense. On the season, the team is averaging more than 4 goals per game, while the Eagles' offense is scoring just about 3 goals per game. Carolina is also strong on the defensive end, with Amanda Henry holding down the cage, allowing on average only 1 goal per game. UNC's defensive unit will need to watch out for Boston freshman Margot Carlin. Carlin tallies 17 goals this season for the Eagles and trails only Carolina's Erin Matson in ACC scoring ranks. Matson and seniors Catherine Hayden and Marissa Creator have a combined 46 goals on the season. The Heels have relied on Matson heavily ever since she arrived at UNC, but she'll be in India for U.S. women's national team's Olympic qualifier until after the November 3rd game against St. Joseph. The Heels will definitely miss her. Matson has scored 22 of the 61 goals this season, the highest number on the team. Matson has played 721 minutes in all 14 games. Not only has she been on fire this season, but last year in 2018 National Championship game, she scored 1 of the 2 goals.
The UNC wrestling team took part in a wrestle-off Thursday evening in Carmichael Gym. Jamie Hernandez picks up opponent Joe Hellman and slams him down to win the 133 weight class. Senior AC Headley battles it out with Josh McClure, keeping him close to the ground. Headley picks up the 10-6 win for the Carolina Blue team. Here, Kennedy Monday slams down opponent Sawyer Davidson. Monday takes the win for the Blue team in the 165 weight class. The Navy Blue team battled it out to win the match 17-15. The Heels will start the official season November 3rd in the Hokie Open. This year's Carolina wrestling team has some serious firepower that will cause many issues for a lot of opponents. Austin O'Connor leads 8 Tar Heels in the first wrestling rankings of this season. David Kane and Kennedy Monday both cracked the top 15. Joey Melendez, Jamie Hernandez, AC Headley, Brandon Whitman, and Josh McClure tear all in the top 25 in their weight classes. As a team, North Carolina is ranked 16th. After a dominant freshman season, Austin O'Connor looks poised to take the wrestling world by storm and now has the ranking to prove it. O'Connor is top-ranked wrestler in the 149-pound weight class, making him the first preseason number under head coach Coleman Scott. O'Connor exploded onto the scene last year in his redshirt freshman season, besting opponents for the 34 wins and All-American status. After winning gold at the 2018 Junior Pan American Championships, O'Connor placed in 3rd place at the NCAA tournament, the highest finish ever by a UNC freshman.
During Wednesday's interstate exhibition game against Elon, the UNC softball team unleashed the bats on the Phoenix. UNC used the fall game to tune up the lineup and exercise the majority of players off the bench. The Heels jumped out to a 7-run lead in the first 3 innings, a blazing start that propelled the team. Sophomores Taylor Pwetz and Abby Settlemeyer stepped up to the plate and helped lead UNC to a commanding 12-2 victory. Reassured head coach Donna Papa that the team's youth will bring a plethora of scoring power for the Tar Heels going into the 2019-2020 season. Multiple Tar Heel teams are competing in challenging games and are looking to come out with some big wins this weekend. The top-ranked UNC field hockey team will host number 7 Boston College in Karen Shelton Stadium today at 5 p.m. The Carolina men's soccer team will play Louisville this evening at 6 p.m. on Dorrance Field. The football Heels will take on the Blue Devils in Kenan Stadium at 4 p.m. on Saturday, and to close out the weekend, the women's soccer team will host Virginia Tech in Chapel Hill at 3 p.m. on Sunday, and the field hockey team will play for the second time in 3 days.
With basketball season almost here, many former Tar Heels are getting their NBA season underway, including 2009 national champion Danny Green. All the hype was surrounding Anthony Davis's debut for the Lakers. However, it was Green who stole the show in his first game with LA after winning a title for the Raptors last season. Green couldn't miss from the three-point range, hitting 7 threes and shooting 71% from the field. Green was especially hot in the third quarter when he went 6 for 6. The winningest player in Tar Heel history finished with 28 points, passing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for the most points scored in a player's LA debut.
Charity, the Tar Heels are starting off the preseason pretty strong. Are you excited for the NBA season?
I am excited, especially with our new 3 coming in from freshman year. I'm super excited to watch. Are you going to watch?
Oh, of course. Of course. Of course. That does it for this edition of Sports Extra.
See you next week.